Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Core Racing Network. Tonight, we're here for the season finale for the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series, and we are here in the desert at Phoenix Raceway. This is no better way to describe it than it's a quirky little tri-oval here, 1 mile in the foothills of Estrella Mountains. And it's earned its nickname, the Desert Oddball, thanks to its unusual configuration with the dogleg on the backstretch. It's not really a tri-oval; it's more considered a dogleg. You see the dogleg on the top left of your screen right there, and it's a place where, as long as the session's set up that way, you can cut that dog leg, and you will see these drivers cut that dog leg here tonight, all the way down and get close to the pit exit wall right there, which that's where it can cause some issues. If you get some green flag pit stops, and all of a sudden you have a car coming out of pit road and a car coming down off the track to cut that dog leg, well, you can have calamity right there as well. Carl Handwork joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, we are here for the season finale, 150 laps on tap here tonight.
Yeah, 150 laps with 17 drivers out there right now getting a qual in. We do have a little special presentation for you here. I don't know if it's going to be a all race moving forward or if just something they want to do here because it is the finale. So we're going to go ahead and move on with that here in a bit. But yeah, definitely a unique track. It's going to be a lot to tame here for these drivers. Those corners can be challenging, as you got a lot of apron to be used there that some drivers will actually drive down on, and it could cause some problems. So we'll see if those drivers stay down there or if they stay up above the yellow line all night long. We'll get that feedback here now. But Carl, I think right now we should go ahead and present the national anthems for the fans out there.
Yeah, just to give everybody an update for tonight, and I believe going forward, what we're going to do is we're going to have the national anthem for the USA and Canada before the race, as well as an invocation here by one of the drivers. So we'll go ahead and switch it over for tonight's national anthems. national anthems for both Canada and the U.S. And now we're going to bring in Kent Bice as he is going to deliver us tonight's invocation.
All right, let us pray. Lord, we come before you tonight to thank you for the means and opportunity to fellowship together with a great group of family and friends through a shared love of racing. We ask that as we wrap up our first season together, that you allow us to continue to grow together on and off the track. I ask that you grant us patience with each other tonight and have a great race of friendly competition. Lord, I'd like to lift up to you all of our military personnel and their families. We thank them for their sacrifice and ask that you be with those who are enduring time apart. Fill them with comfort and peace and knowing that you are in full control. Lord, I also ask that you be with our brother Dylan Jacobs as he deals with a medical issue. We thank you that he is recovering and ask that you continue to oversee him and bring him back to us at full strength very soon. Lord, help us to thank, praise, honor, and glorify you in all that we do. It is in the mighty name of Jesus that we pray. Amen.
Amen. Want to thank you, Ken Bice, for joining us here for tonight's invocation. Wish you luck out there, and we'll let you guys get ready to get fired off here tonight.
Thank you, guys.
That is Ken Bice, driver of the number one. As we'll take a look real quick at the starting order for tonight's race. It's going to be Dylan Emerson on the pole here tonight. Josh Duncan starting in second. Kent Bice, Kyle Emerson for row number 2. Ron Millum, Tiffany Ellis in row number 3. Richard Covington Jr., Braden Craycraft in row number 4. Anthony Emerson, Cody Handler rounding out your top 10. Then you got Austin Wells, Tim Felker in row number 6. Kelly Akron and Cody Brewer in row number 7. Then you got Thomas O'Connor in 15th. We got Alec Luno and Will O'Connor. I'm not putting in a lap, and it looks like they're going to be starting back there in 16th and 17th if they indeed are going to be starting the race. But a pretty good size field out here as we're getting ready for them to advance. We'll get this thing underway. But yeah, it's a unique track out here in Phoenix, and it's gone through a design change without changing the track at all. As it's been quite some time now since 2018, where the front stretch had the start finish line in the middle, but now what used to be the exit of turn number 2, or kind of in between turns 1 and 2, that is now the start finish line. So it's not only got the dog leg on the backstretch, but you also have the uniqueness of the start finish line being in a corner on a track that has plenty of straightaway to have a start finish line on. I mean, you look at like tracks like Richmond, yeah, it's in a corner, and some other travels, yeah, it's technically in a corner, but here at Phoenix, I mean, it used to be on a straightaway and they moved it to the corner. You don't see that too often, Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean, is it a corner? Is it a short shoot? I mean, this is a very tricky part of the track. The driver's obviously coming off them corners and wanting to open it wide open, and you could just see that little yellow line on the left-hand side of your screen, or if you're looking at the track map that I brought up, where you can see the red line, that is where the start-finish line is. And right past that, if you're looking at the overhead view here that I got up on the screen, it is tons of apron down there, and a lot of drivers will go down there almost to the point of coming across pit lane. And Carl, it's so far down, if you got a car that's actually up on the track above the yellow line, you will not, your digital spotter will not say you have a car on the outside. So when you're coming out of that apron area back to the track to meet it down into turn number 1, you could close in on somebody and get into a pretty good accident right there. So drivers really need to pay attention. It really does help if you got VR or triple monitors, or if you don't and you got the single monitor, the button's the quick look over there before you even come up to make sure you give the driver on the outside some space, so you're not getting to them and taking yourself out or anybody else. So it's going to be a dancing game here down through that just past the start finish line down into turn number 1. There's a lot of off time on the gas pedal here, more than one can think or would think about here. Tire wear is going to be an issue. We're just said that they're going to be out here for 150 laps. They're going to want to go long green runs. They're going to be here a long time tonight, and I'm sure people got work tomorrow. We'll see how well they do here tonight. It's a tough one, Carl. It's not the easiest of tracks to have a full-fledged, like half a race pretty much out here tonight.
No, not at all. But I think Mike Casey definitely hit a big talking point is as the restarts here, as you can and probably will see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide. I mean, you can go really, really wide here on these restarts as you'll see everyone diving down to the to cut off the dog leg because obviously you're coming out of turn number. I guess is it turn number 4? Actually, it's turn. I don't know. I don't even know what it's considered anymore. But the last corner, you're coming out of there, taking the green flag. You're clearly not up to speed. You're not even up to all your gears when you're getting to that dog leg. So you're going to cut that down there as much as possible. Still not really fully up to speed heading into what I consider the new first corner, the old turn number 3. You're going to be having to, let it lift a little bit and let it breathe into the corner, kind of set it into the corner. But that first lap on the restart, especially with these cold tires, can and will get very interesting. So and we're gonna have some restarts here. It's the last race of the season, and the championship already done and dusted. It was done and dusted last week when we seen Dylan Emerson. All he had to do was just start the race, and he locked himself into the championship. But he wasn't content with that. He wanted to get a win as well, and he locked himself in there with his 3rd win of the season and going back to back after winning at Richmond, winning last week at Worldwide Technology. We'll see if he can win here at Phoenix and really, kind of make a statement to finish out the season, and already kind of has. He's already got the pole out there in the number 6. But as we run out the time here in qualifying, it's about time for those most famous words in any motorsports, and going to turn over to temporarily our 3rd man here in the booth, my son Colton, for the most famous words in motorsports.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
That is the cue. It's time to fire these engines up and get ready for 150 laps here for the finale for the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series. And we'll see who's going to get that final notch in the belt, the final win on the season. We got plenty of different winners this season. And now with the championship already done and dusted, I know there's still some battles within the points that can mix it up here, even within the top 5. But Jimmy, last race of the season, time to let the hair down and go after it.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to want to make their staple here on the season, whether it's getting another win or whether it's starting next season or wanting to go out this season, maybe stepping that front foot forward for the next season. And Dylan Emerson obviously trying to do that here early on, getting the pole. But it is a long race. It is 150 laps. Dylan Emerson's going to lead it off there with Josh Duncan, Kent Bice, Kyle Emerson, Ron Millen for your top 5, and Tiffany Ellis, Richard Covington, Braden Craycraft, Anthony Emerson, Cody Handler, Austin Wells, Tim Felker, Kelly Akron, Cody Brewer, Thomas O'Connor, Will O'Connor, and Alec Luano out there. So looking forward to see all those drivers that take the field here tonight and complete this. It is going to be a monster. It's going to be fun, and I think a lot of these drivers are looking forward to it. So hopefully they have had the time to maybe let the nerves calm down a little bit with a little bit prolonged entry here for the finale of this season. But it's going to be a good one. It should be interesting. Let's see who can come out the winner here tonight.
Yeah, and the other thing that is long here is the long drive to the actual start of the race, all the way down the backstretch and through the final corner before you finally get to the restart zone. Barney in the flag stand, waving that green flag, and we are racing here at Phoenix.
And away they go here. Start this thing off right down into turn 1, already spread apart. You've seen how much they fan out there coming down across the start-finish line, but the 6 going to get out here early. We're going to move back through the field just a little bit, but the caution is out early. It does look like the 18, I think it is, or we got Cody Brewer, Kelly Akron, Thomas O'Connor, and Braden Craycraft already getting involved here with them cold tires. Carl, I can only imagine that is the issue here early on, but we'll go ahead and take a look. And you can see up ahead the green was at the 3 car. Getting into it with one of the turtle cars, and the 3 is going to get sideways there. trying to catch it. The 18 catches them, sends them around, and this is going to cause a slow up and probably nowhere to go. The 12 looking like, please spin away, ends up tagging them all there just a little bit as the others drive by. But Kelly Akron locking it up, getting into the 3, set them around, and the 18 taking some damage on the front end from the 12. So 4 cars really getting involved here. There was one that got away, escaped the looseness of the cold tires going out of the corner. But first caution of the night, nerves settling in, I'm sure, and them cold tires.
Well, one thing we do see there, though, is no meatballs. No meatballs on this one. We've seen pretty heavy impact there.
Just so
Kelly Akron in to the side of the spinning car there. And, I mean, I think it was perfectly positioned where Kelly Akron hit the 3 of Craycraft there, because if he hits him in either of those wheels, it's going to be a meatball for the 3, but hit him right there in the door, and that doesn't really cause hardly any damage. It's kind of the opposite of a soft spot there in the car, and it's just kind of indestructible. Not so much for the 20 of Kelly Akron, definitely some damage to the front end of that car, but I'm not sure if we got a theme out here tonight for the race, a theme in particular, but it certainly looks like quite a few drivers out there representing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think we got at least all 4 of them, maybe even more. I see Raphael out there. We see Donatello. I'm sure we got all 4, and I think even Tiffany Ellis has a one that encompasses them all. But even some new paint schemes there you see with Thomas O'Connor with the Butterfingers. It's great. Again, I know I just got done saying this a couple nights ago, but night racing with these paint schemes, fantastic. I thought it was the Ninja Turtles, but I guess just the lime green there.
Austin Wells and Doritos.
Yeah, Austin Wells. Yep.
All the Ninja Turtles out there. Tiffany Ellis rocking an old Dale Jarrett throwback, and that's always a good looking car to see out there. Kind of throwback one I used to watch racing a little more often on TV. But
agreed.
Right now, pace lights are off on that car, so you can see the car is doubling up wide, or going too wide here. And the Turtles may be trying to put on that hard shell here tonight and work their way to the front. The Ravens cars are out there as well, as obviously the teammates putting in a little bit of work to match a little bit here tonight. And it's always good to see people who have some camaraderie and in that team building and get out here. But they're all one team here tonight. This is a team Pit Road Speed Limit Racing, and they're going to put on a great show here tonight. Just getting some of the bugs worked out here early, and we're going to go green right now.
Yeah, I guess we need to change the names on these cars here tonight, as we got Leonardo Emerson in the lead right now, Michelangelo Emerson in 3rd place. I think it's Raphael Emerson in 8th, and then Donatello Handler in 9th place right now for the 4 turtle machines out there. But good restart here. Looks like everybody got a single file out here, but big dive into the corner for the 42 of Anthony Emerson, gets into the 91, shoves him up the track. But I tell you what, for as hard as he hit him in the left rear quarter there, I mean, I didn't see that 91 really get upset at all. So these cars may be planted to the track pretty nicely here tonight.
Yeah, it's a good thing, obviously, to take a small shot like that and not get it super loose and send them flying. It could have ended in disaster there early on for both of them drivers. So, good catch, good car control, and to get around here. So the laps aren't too bad here, Carl. About 26 seconds a lap early on with fresh tires, but you know how it is here at this track where the tires can be eaten up. It's a pretty flat track, and I'll get on board here with some of these drivers. Matter of fact, we'll just hop down on one of them now, and you can kind of see their perspective and kind of how flat it is as we're on board here. I guess it would help if I brought up the driver I'm selected. With Kyle Emerson as he's following around Josh Duncan and Dylan Emerson here tonight. So, yeah, doing a good job. It's just fairly flat, and a lot of pressure on the tires here. And so tire wear and consumption of these cars could be a big one here tonight. So obviously with a little longer race, Carl, we're talking about multiple pit stops, and if we can keep this thing green, we're talking about multiple green flag pit stops. So but a caution now flies. I didn't mean to
had to
come
say
in.
it.
I
You had to say it.
didn't mean to have a caution, guys. But I mean, hopefully they've practiced their pit stops, and we'll go back here and find out what happened to Cody Brewer and Kelly Akron as they get involved in another one here. And we'll see what happened between the 12. To see Kelly Akron up there getting a little bit loose, getting down into the corner, and trying to catch it. And I bet you the car just, hits the apron, snaps, and then comes up across the track and nowhere for that 12 to go. T-bones them.
And again, a perfect hit. I mean, a perfect hit. We got no meatballs again on this one. Perfect hit from the 12 into the side of the 20. Not so much for the 12, but these drivers with the extended race here tonight with 150 laps, they do have 3 fast repairs that they can use. Now, granted, you probably still don't want to use one here within the first 10 15 laps or so, but if you have to, you have to. Unlimited sets of tires, so you don't have to worry about take tires every time if you want to, and only 40% fuel load in the cars here tonight. So we'll see how everything plays out. Really only seeing the drivers involved in the issues here so far coming in and getting some repairs done and probably getting some new tires on those cars as well. So hopefully we can get a little green flag running here once we get going. But I'd love to see all the fans out there in CRN Nation tuning in here for the season finale, and definitely let us know who you're out there rooting for. It looks like quite a few Tiffany fans out there, and it looks like Austin Wells fan there for Blaze. And I mean, it's great, and we love to see the chat pumping. Gives us things to talk about, and it gives me some ideas for polls that we'll put up, I'm sure, throughout this race as well. And I guess considering we got all 4 turtles out there, that's I think gonna have to be my first poll. And Jimmy, as usual, I'll ask you first. Who's your favorite Teenage Ninja Turtle?
I'm a Raphael guy. I always like the red for one, and always had a couple of the Ninja Turtle weapons laying around, and those are the ones that were around the house the most, I guess, when I was a kid. So Raphael would be my select car, and we'll see where he goes from here, but we'll see. You can put that red turtle up front here tonight.
Well, we're gonna get them doubled up here. The pace car lights are out, and hopefully we'll get a little green flag lap going right now as we'll get the poll out there, and ignore the spelling. I'm sure I botched at least one of them up, if not all 4 of them. But pace car lights are out. It's going to be Leonardo leading him back to the green flag here, as that is Dylan Emerson, your championship winner here for the season. And we'll see if he's got 3 wins in a row to finish out the season and really put the fear into all these drivers for next season. But see him all getting antsy, and it really builds up the tension going all the way down this straightaway. And it kind of reminds you of Talladega, where the start finish line is after the tri-oval. It just takes forever to get to the restart zone. But we're there now. Green flag is waving, and we're back to racing here in Phoenix.
Let's talk about that restart area, Carl. I mean, where they're start, and it's not like they're in a straight line. They're actually like turning the wheel a little bit. So how does that hinder a restart with some of these drivers?
Well, I mean, it's hard enough. These cars are planned a little bit more than other cars, whether it's the Xfinities or the trucks or anything like that. These next gens usually don't struggle as much as the other ones do on the restarts. But anytime you're starting in a corner on a banking, I mean, probably the biggest place that we see issues with banking and things like that is was close to another caution. Is maybe still a chance at a caution with the 16 getting loose, and that is going to be a caution. But Dover is really, really synonymous with having a tough restart because of the banking here. Phoenix is not too bad with the corner you're coming out of. It's kind of a little bit lazier of a corner getting to the start finish line by the restart zone, so it's not too terrible here. But certainly, if you got some older tires and they're cold as well, it's not going to spend too well. But you see right here, the 16 getting loose, collecting the 91. And if you're looking for the caution, just find Kelly Akron, as he's found all of them here so far tonight.
I mean, can we throw the iRacing pace car ski, the safety car, something on Kelly? Give this person a break. I mean, that's just 3 in a row here, all 3. I mean,
He did get a break. He finally got our first meatball of the race. If that's a break, I don't know.
I don't know. That's just rough to have something like that happen, and that wasn't him getting loose, and obviously gonna be a long one here for Kelly, and just obviously trying to find their way around here tonight, and back in the back, just probably just let things happen, and just choosing the wrong line. At this point, if I'm Kelly and I'm last, I see a caution, I'm just gonna stomp on the brakes. As long as there's nobody right on my rear bumper, I'm just gonna stomp on the brakes and let the cars kind of figure out what happens, because the caution's coming out anyways. So might as well just not even try to attempt to pass anybody, as he has been kind of the receiving end of an incident. So, but I don't think they've had to use all 3 fast repairs already. We'll definitely have to use it on that one with the meatball. But yeah, early on, some early calamity. Could be a long one. They do obviously need to kind of settle down here and get those cars under control, and drive at your pace, and it will come to you eventually. You just gotta feel that car out and get down here. You got plenty of racing to go. We're only 16 laps in, so still looking at 134 laps, 135 laps here still remaining. They'll go by quickly once they get going, but we need to get them there first, and right now that's the challenge. And so in a little while, when I think we get a little farther down the race, then we're going to be starting to think about pit stops, fuel mileage, and getting to the end. Obviously having unlimited tires doesn't I guess the decision whether to take them or not, if I can have unlimited tires, and especially with the cautions going out, I think I'm just gonna take them as often as I can, and if we happen to go green the whole time, I'm gonna get them anyways. So but right now it is going to be the 6 leading back off here, Dylan Emerson over Josh Duncan on the outside as the pace car's in.
Well, a couple more things that I'm noticing here, and one of them has to do with the paint scheme, and it's the paint scheme on the number 7 there, and it's another throwback. If you've seen the movie Tommy Boy, because that car is made by the American working man for the American working man. That is Callahan Auto Parts there from the movie Tommy Boy with Chris Farley. Definitely a classic in my household. But we're back to racing here. And the other thing is, I'm surprised I haven't seen it yet, but Kathy has brought up a good point out there. Jimmy, I think if there is one out there, Kelly Acker needs it, but we need a bubble wrap paint scheme, especially for that 20. Just something to save Kelly out there.
Go to your local bowling alley, get some good bumpers or something. Like, keep these cars off the Kelly Acker, and just at number 20, just the receiving end way too many times, and it can be frustrating. So the only thing I can say is just keep at it. Your time will come and to shine, and it's just right place, right time, and the sun will be there. So, but right now, Dylan Emerson looking to find that right now. Kyle Emerson in Pete number 2. You can see Josh Duncan taking that low line down there and trying to make it work. And it can work. It's just being, as long as the drivers around you are kind of notice where you're at when you go down there. So it's awareness here tonight, Carl.
Yeah, Emma, to answer your question, the meatball flag, the drivers will receive that if they have required damage. If their car is damaged a certain way, whether it's the tires are knocked out of line or whatever it is required damage. They must come in within the next 3 laps to get that car, at least the required damage, repaired. Sometimes you'll come in and it'll be 7 minutes of required damage and another 3 minutes of optional. You have to take the required damage to be able to be allowed back on the track without getting a black flag and getting disqualified from the race. Now, obviously, with the fast repairs, if they come in, take their fast repair, it's going to repair everything right away anyway. But that is what the meatball flag is. And first one that we've seen tonight.
This one right here that I'm showing on the screen, that is the meatball. Black flag, orange circle, meatball. So when you see it on the left-hand side, when I bring up the names, if you have this flag known as the meatball, they have required repairs. So just like Carl was explaining, but this is the flag, just so everybody has a understanding what it looks like. I've put it on my cars before because I got it so often.
I was gonna say, not sure why you have that queued up so quickly there, Jimmy.
I mean,
but
I have it handy. Got to put it on my cars, and I figure out if I put it on my car, I won't get it in the game, and so you just kind of embrace it. So, but it does look like Alec Lueno having some issues back there. Go ahead, just take a look there. We're still green here on lap 23, but we'll just go see what happened to Alec. This is working his way around there with the 16. So just getting loose again, coming off of turn number 4. And just bringing a little bit side, going sideways here, but far enough back in the pack, unable to affect traffic, and we'll get that 16 going again here as he slowly gets it back going. Might be having some steering issues, still tires all angry and whatnot. You can see him trying to get control, but able to keep it going green. Still green here at lap number 24, Dylan Emerson still in the lead.
It looks like Luno has come into the pits since then. But it's Dylan Emerson in the lead, Josh Duncan in second, Richard Covington Jr. in third, Kyle Emerson, Anthony Emerson, Tiffany Ellis, Kent Bice, Will O'Connor, Austin Wells, and Ron Millum for your top 10 with Tim Felker, Braden Craycraft, Cody Handler, Kelly Akron, Cody Brewer, and Thomas O'Connor for the 16 cars currently running in the race. And somebody's got to let that 19 of Cody Handler know that the other turtles are letting him hang out there to dry right now. We got
that's Donnie. He's always using his brain.
3 of the turtles in the top 5, and I guess he's crafting something up here, waiting here for Cody Handler. But I mean, not sure. No offense to Kelly, but not sure you want to ride around Kelly right now. He has not exactly had a good start to this race, and he's found every one of these cautions. But he's got a clean number 20 here once again. Hopefully he's still got a faster pair in waiting in the pits, because again, only 3 faster pairs here tonight. He's been involved, I think, in every single wreck.
3.
So
3.
I mean, he may be done already with those faster pairs.
Well, we're hoping not. Hopefully Kelly can stay out there and keep things going. Obviously, you'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. And you can see the 24 not taking the old-fashioned way, going down off that apron. Obviously, I never felt comfortable going down there, and it never really seemed that much faster where I needed to drag my car down there, unless I was trying to, and I got to run out of the last corner for a pass for the win. But you can watch some of these cars. We're gonna watch the 24 here, Will O'Connor. You see him kind of dive down there. Watch this car just kind of hop and spark all over the place, and then spark back coming back up. And those are the little things that kind of feels weird in the car. Your wheel kind of goes loose and jerks around, so you have to keep control of that. Will doing a pretty good job here tonight so far, up in Pete number 8, being chased by the number 91, Ron Millum back there. That was involved earlier in an incident, but just looking good right now, up in that top 10. Biggest mover of the race so far, obviously, is Will. That's why I clicked on him in the first place, but making that unique line work for him here early on. And then you're going to see these cars, I think, change lines a lot, trying to find their way, adjust into their tire wear, from coasting around the yellow line to trying the dime in the corner. There's just so many unique lines around here, Carl.
Yeah, and I will say it doesn't seem like the apron is used or maybe even needed here as much with these next gen cars, and they're able to keep some good speed around the outside. I know running with these ladies and gentlemen on this past Friday night in the ARCA cars, it was violent getting down there off the main track down onto that apron, but you absolutely had to use it. Not sure if it was just the gearing or what the case was, but you see Josh Duncan has been using it all night here and hanging in there with Dylan Emerson, not letting Leonardo get away here too much. But a good run right now. Hopefully we can keep this thing going. We did see some issues from the cars getting on the gas here. Don't hear too many of them shifting. We hopped on board here a couple times and haven't heard too much shifting being done here, but I'm sure you will hear it eventually when these tires start to wear out a little bit. They're going to need to shift to just get that thing rotated through the corner.
Yeah, it's like a third brake or a second brake. I use the engine to brake you and kind of slow that car down. Obviously, with the power being in the rear, and most of the drivers are probably have heavy front brake bias, so more brakes to the front. and it's great for stopping, but not great for trail braking. But one thing you do, if you move your brake bias towards the rear so you can trail brake through the corner easier, you sometimes might forget if you come down the pits, and the next thing you know, you find yourself going sideways, getting heavy on the braking.
It's one thing we haven't had the pleasure of seeing yet, and that's green flag pit stops. But I mean, looking at all the cautions that we had so far, we had, quite a few drivers coming in. Most of them involved in the incidents in one way or another. It looks like Ron Millen, the 91, now up into 7th place, trying to make his way back up into the top 5. He's got the freshest tires in the field, pinning on lap number 15. But I mean, we have a ton of drivers, including the entire top 6 right now, that have yet to come down pit road. So, if this thing stretches out here a little bit more and we get to those pit windows without a caution, that could be a situation where, the drivers that pit on lap number 15 could really benefit. I mean, we've seen it the other night where the caution flies at a certain point and all of a sudden you got 10, 15 cars stuck a lap down.
Yeah, wrong pit strategy at the wrong time could you find yourself laps down, and that usually happens when these green flags start. So, if somebody's like, let me go down, my tires are bad, and you can see some drivers coming down right now. Austin Wells, Craig Craft there at 81 and the 3, slowing down, no flags, so good entry for those 2 cars. Gonna come down and get some fuel and tires, I'm sure, here. Early on, Austin Wells was in there on lap number 2. Braden Craycraft, the first one that has not been in, that is now coming in. But Dylan Emerson still out there going by. Let's see if he comes down. And this time it does look like he is coming in low, but he's going to go by, just hugging that yellow line here. So doing a fantastic job there in the number 6. So looking for that win here tonight, stretching things out just a little bit over Josh Duncan.
Yeah, turn 1 right here. This is where they'd be slowing up to come down into pit road, but staying out here once again. But it looks like Austin maybe listening to the crew chief, Blaze Haley, out there, coming in and getting those fresh tires, and now he's got to punch it according to the crew chief. So we'll see if we get Austin up through the field a little bit more in that 81, but. Again, a good little run here. We got Dylan Emerson in the lead. It looks like the 42 of Anthony Emerson now in the pits. Josh Duncan, Richard Covington Jr., Kyle Emerson, and Tiffany Ellis for your top 5. Then you got Bice, O'Connor, Millum, Felker, and Brewer for your top 10. But now Cody Handler brings the Donatello machine in to the pits. So we'll probably see our top 7 here in the next couple laps, because it's pit window time.
Definitely within that pit window, and I'm maybe wondering, trying to stretch it out to, they're now over 40 laps. Obviously with a few cautions here, seeing how we don't know full green flag distance at the moment, we're probably looking at those drivers that were in on lap 15 when they come in to kind of get a good judgment call on when exactly how long they can stay out to 38 laps with a bunch of caution flags. You might be looking at 35, 36, I would imagine. So we should be seeing them around lap number 50 or so, but we still have drivers out there that have not pit. But Dylan Emerson coming in a pit now. Yeah, with Josh Duncan, Kyle Emerson. So watch for these drivers that were out on lap 15 to kind of come to the top here. Ron Millen out there in the number 91, so got a pretty good gap there to the next driver. So yeah, I mean, something could happen in this time frame, and this is like when the drivers kind of start, the concern goes up. I need to go in and get fuel and tires, but can these drivers out there keep it green? So if I go a lap down and everybody else can pit as well, I'll go ahead and throw up the gap here as well, as far in the pit stop, so you can kind of see what's going on. And already back to the 12 or the 11 car there, a lap down. So. And drivers still in. Kyle Emerson in, and Dylan Emerson, Josh Duncan, Bice, and now they're all lap down. So now you see those drivers that were in on lap 15, 10, all still on that lead lap.
Yeah, Ron Millum still out there, as Kyle Emerson was the leader briefly coming into the pits, but now you got all those cars coming in. They got fresh tires, but they're cold tires, and you got to be careful coming out of the pits. And you see right there, your leader early on, the 6 puts a dent in the front of that car. That's not going to handle as well as it did before. It's going to lose some spots as well. Gotta be careful. You can easily throw this race away just with pit stops. But Ron Millam right now enjoying a 4-second lead over Cody Brewer, who pit on lap number 10, Kelly Akron, avoiding some incidents, and look at, he is up there to third place right now, pit on lap number 15 as well. Tim Felker now leaves the track. He comes into the pits. Thomas O'Connor also pit on lap number 15. Those top four will be coming in here within the next maybe 10 laps or so, but they don't mind being out there right now and would love a caution to trap a bunch of these guys down and give them a free pit stop.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the whole field right now, with the exception of the three up top. Ron, Cody, and Kelly leading the way here, and you've seen Josh Duncan there get by a few of the cars now, so we're trying to work his way back on the lead lap the hard way with the newer tires, and got a little ways to go as he's got Cody Brewer up in front of him by quite a little distance there, but still, 446 laps in now, Carl, so. And the
and yellow flag is out.
It has been answered by a few drivers. Tim Felker.
This is going to be something that shakes up the field here, and Tim Felker is going to get a meatball for this one as well. We'll take a look at what happened to the two. Little bit of a bobble, tried to save it, but the one thing that I'm sure these drivers will eventually realize that I've realized before is you don't want to counter steer when these next gens get out of shape. You want to steer with the spin. You can get off the gas a little bit, but you got to steer with the spin, put in a lot of wheel going the way that the car is spinning, because if you counter steer and all of a sudden it hooks up, that's exactly what can happen, and hard impact there for the two of Tim Felker. But now you see free pit stops here for Cody Brewer and Kelly Akron. I don't see Ron Millam coming in the pits just yet, though, so real interesting that the 91 is deciding to stay out here.
Those guys come in early? Or
unless he's trying to trap these guys all one lap down and not let them get the lucky dog.
And that's would do it. And obviously,
not the lucky dog.
Only one person will get the wave around, and that would be Thomas O'Connor. And the 18 there getting the wave around for the lucky dog. So only one lucky individual at the moment, as Cody Brewer, Kelly Akron able to come in, get new tires, maybe a fast repair there for Cody, as he had some damage on the front end. But we asked for a break for the 20. Did we give it to him?
Not yet. There's still a long
there's a
way
lot.
to go.
There's a third of the race still, but this is a good start. I'm rooting for Kelly here tonight. Like I said, they've been in the wrong spot, wrong time, majority of the race, and obviously out there still learning the tracks and just having a blast and finds himself in the top three.
Well, I think I see what may have happened here with Ron Millam. He missed that the pit road was open when Brewer and Akron came in. He came in on the next lap, but if you don't come in that first lap, the pits are now closed for you. And he came in closed pit. He has now got a black flag, and I believe that is a stop and go under green. Now you said before it's an end of line, but we've seen before that it's actually a stop, either stop and go or a drive through, because you see it's not served right now. He is going to be at the back of the line, so that's why it's you're not really getting a penalty because you're already coming into the pits. So they make you come in once it goes back green. So we'll see what happens here in the 91. Could be a big mental mistake right there, but it's going to give the 20 of Kelly Akron the lead here for the restart, as like Thomas O'Connor coming in, and he's going to get his pit stop in since he was a lucky dog, get some fresh tires on that number 12, but he gets a penalty as well, and that might be just this could be a situation here, though, that the lucky dog finally caught the field, and now he comes into the pits, and he's going to get an unwarranted black flag because he needs to have an opportunity to pit as well. So I think this is unwarranted that the 18 got a penalty on this one. But either way, we're going to get this thing back underway. As you see all these cars getting the wave around, they're going to be back on the lead lap, and it's going to be Cody Brewer, Kelly Akron, as you see him waiting here for the pace car to catch back up, as the pace car is just kind of farting around here, and lights are out. We're gonna get this thing back underway as pace car just gets by and gets into pit lane. So a little bit of issues going on here, but plenty of time for all the cars to catch back up here as we have the long trek down the backstretch here, and then we'll get this thing back underway. It looks like the penalties for the drivers were cleared, and still some issues. Driver trying to figure out where everybody's supposed to be, but we're heading back to the restart zone. We're gonna get this thing back underway, so hopefully everybody figures out what's going on, because it is Cody Brewer now in the lead on the loud pedal, and we're back to racing.
Yeah, so pretty much single file start for most of the drivers. That's going to allow Cody Brewer to get a nice start here. We've seen Cody with some pretty good runs and be able to run out there, but obviously those newer tires got to come up to temperature, and that's what's going to happen here. But they are on newer tires. The top three here of Cody Brewer, Kelly Akron, and Ron Millum. So good break here for them with that caution, and with the Ron coming in and then maybe missing the pit entry. Who knows what Iracing was saying at the time, but able to get back up there and give things a whirl, and the rest of the field getting away around. So I don't think people are complaining too much as fall back to the pack just a little bit. Kelly was up there in P number 2, but obviously maybe uncomfortable being in that position, but currently just getting them tires warmed up and in a good spot right now, just getting that number 20 around here tonight, and currently sitting in your top 5. Richard Covington in the 21, run a little higher.
Kelly into the wall, and hard impact into the wall there for the 20. And I mean, that just kind of spells the night there for the 20. This time he doesn't get wrapped up. He does the wrapping himself, and it looks like another car in the wall back behind him. He's going to get down to the bottom and get out of the way. Hopefully he can hug that bottom, which he will.
Yeah, heavy right front damage. Tire's not even spinning.
Another meatball. Yeah, another meatball there for the 20. That could spell the night for the 20 of Akron. But now, for the drivers like Cody Brewer and even Ron Millum, they don't want to see a caution. They have got a tire advantage right now. They want to try and run away from the field, which is exactly what Cody Brewer is doing. Just ran the fastest lap of the race a couple laps ago. He has got a 1.2 second lead. But now Richard Covington answers back with his fastest lap of the race, just a smidge faster than Brewer. So the 21, even though he's got 6 lap older tires, trying to run him down.
Yeah, and that's going to be challenging. And obviously, if he pushes too hard, he can either put pressure on Cody to burn up his tires faster, and he'll catch them, or it's just the kind of way that these drivers handle these cars. What lines are they taking? Are they running high? Are they running low? Whatever it may be. How heavy are they on the throttle getting out? There's all kinds of things that can make these tires go away, and I had a hard time being able to figure that out and what one to do when. So I was one that I could run the fast laps, but as soon as the tires were pretty much dead, I just fell backwards, and that's what was my problem. Unless I got into a race where I had lots of cautions and unlimited tires, I could stay up there. But and that would obviously, they had this long green flag run here, putting them in here now up in lap 57. So working to that halfway mark so far, doing a pretty decent job. Couple of small cautions, so one decent sized one with 4 drivers involved, but we're having a pretty decent one here with Cody Brewer enjoying his lead at the moment over Richard Covington. Josh Duncan moves back in the 3rd. Ron Millum back there in 4th. Dylan Emerson in the 6th has, even after that incident coming out of the pits, finds himself up in 5th again. Kyle Emerson in 6th. And then obviously Austin Wells, Tiffany Ellis, Kent Bice, and Braden Craycraft for your top 10.
Yes, at least Austin now up into the top 10, up there in the 7th place. So I'm sure Blaze is liking this a little bit better here, but still wants more. Still wants a little bit more pressure put on by Austin. But just to let everyone know, if you're looking to get into the Pit Road Sim or Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series for season number 2. It's going to be kicking off here November 5th with the Clash at the Coliseum. So still plenty of time to get in for season number 2. Just get in touch with one of us, or get in touch with any of the admins here at the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing, and get involved here on Wednesday nights, as usually some pretty good turnouts here. And now hopefully we get some green flag racing, and hopefully while we do, Jimmy, why don't we go ahead and step aside for a little Love to Hear It.
We'd love to hear it. Filming up. We were enjoying the sights and sounds, and you can see Brady Craycraft there limping the 3-car down the backstretch as caution flies at the halfway mark. So we made it halfway, ladies and gentlemen. We'll go ahead and check out what happened to the 3 here during the small break here. Just getting a little bit too on the throttle coming out of turn number whatever you want to call it, and taking some heavy damage there. And you can see having some issues kind of controlling that car. You can see it crabbing and turning. He's probably fighting it. Matter of fact, if I hop down into the cockpit, you can probably see his steering wheel kind of, yeah, he's steering to the right, and the front end, you can see the hood crinkled up there, but able to at least drive it down to the apron and kind of stay out of the way, Carl. So not too bad, but yeah, wheel way over the right. That's usually not a good sign. So, but able to get it around here, get it into the pits here, and maybe take a fast repair. But you guys can't see it, but I'm about to show you everybody down in the pits to get a refresh.
Yeah, absolutely, and I know some drivers like a steering wheel offset, but that's ridiculous there for the 3.
90 to the right.
Yeah, that's a little much, but yeah, it's what we've seen though. I mean, coming out of turn 2, 3, 4, whatever corner that was. I believe it's actually turn number 2. I mean, haven't really seen drivers, that hard on the throttle, getting out of there, that much out of shape. But it seems like right there, I mean, the 3, he was barely out of shape. I mean, just barely had that back end out, and all of a sudden it just snapped. So, I mean, you have to be ready. You have to be on your toes and ready for that car to just, break out and break loose on you, because it can and will. They've got enough horsepower that if you're just a little bit sideways and all of a sudden you goose the throttle, it's going to be tough to save. And that's one thing that I don't like. Well, one of many things I don't like about this next gen car is that it can be really, really tough to save. If I make an error, if I make a mistake, and whether I get on the throttle too much or I oversteer, understeer, whatever the case is, I get it. I know I'm going to be penalized, and my penalty is the tires are going to be scrubbed up a little bit. It's going to be a little bit of a handful for the next couple laps, but I should be able to save it. I should be able to wrangle that car back in, and this can be a very tough car to save once it starts getting a little bit loose. As the 81, I don't know if you forgot to brake for the corner or what there, but
they're coming around for their wave around.
He drove that thing in a little bit deep there. I don't know if giving Blaze a heart attack out there. Don't want to wreck the car getting back up through the field here. But either way, we'll group them back up here. Half the race done and dusted. And we look like we're down to 15 cars right now, as we got Cody Brewer in the lead for this restart, Richard Covington Jr. in second, Josh Duncan, Kyle Emerson, Dylan Emerson, Ron Millum, Kent Bice, Thomas O'Connor, Tiffany Ellis, and Will O'Connor for your top 10. As a little busy there in the turn number 1.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But the one's going to go around. Raphael picks him up. 18 just getting sideways, just making them tires angry. Cold tires, Carl. Strikes again.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I don't expect to be able to save, because I've gotten cold tires angry more often than not. But you see right here, looks like the one kind of coming down the track, the 18 drifting up after being on the apron. They meet in the middle, and that's pretty much all she wrote right there. The 18 is going to lock it up. 24, give him a little bit of a tap from behind, but 42 there of Anthony Emerson getting a pretty good piece of the 1 of Kent Bice. And the 3 just sneaking by there is Braden Craycraft, almost getting involved in back-to-back incidents there, but he's going to sneak on by with that 3. Going to bring us under another caution. Looks like Will O'Connor, Kent Bice, both going to come down into the pits, and I'm sure we'll see a couple others come down as well to get some repairs done, as we're now getting up to lap 80. So we got 70 laps to go here in this race.
Yeah, just watching the 16 come to a stop to the 42. heavy rear brake bias as the rear tires locked, the fronts did not. There's a driver obviously trail braking here tonight, using those rear brakes a little bit heavier, maybe not shifting as often. And that's the first sign, especially when I'm over, I'm able obviously as a broadcaster to look overhead and just even notice that as being a driver out there occasionally. But yeah, heavy brake bias on the 16, maybe a little too far, but they was able to get it stopped and not get any more damage into the 42. But heavy damage to the 42 machine here after he got past their original incident. So a few drivers I'm sure will be coming down, but no meatballs flying, Carl. We do have 12 cars on the lead lap. Cody Brewer out front with Josh Duncan, Richard Covington, Kyle Emerson, Dylan Emerson for your top 5. Then it's Ron Millam, Tiffany Ellis hanging around in 7th, Thomas O'Connor, Anthony Emerson, Kent Bice, Will O'Connor, Cody Handler, all on the lead lap. Then you have Braden Craycraft, Austin Wells, Alec Wano, and then Kelly Akron and Tim Felker on the in the haulers. And Tim, if you're out there, get back in Discord. Be by yourself, and me and Carl are going to bring you in here because I think me and you got a lot in common.
And that is the pure hatred of short tracks. And apparently you both have in common that you think Phoenix is a short track. It is a 1 mile track.
Nope.
It is 1 mile, Jimmy. We'll get back into it here again. It's a borderline. I'll give you that. This is a borderline one here, and it's flat. It's flat, just like your New Hampshire, then your Milwaukee's. So I get it. But hey, Indianapolis Motor Speedway is flat as well. I don't think you're calling that one a storage track.
No, it does, but it drives a lot like Pocono, and I like Pocono, and I don't know why, because that has corners that reference a flat track too. So it's just, I guess maybe I'll just stop calling them short tracks and just call them flat tracks.
You don't like short tracks or flat tracks or really any ovals anymore. But that's beside the point. Back to racing here. Wow. As you see how violent it is diving down there off of the apron and down now into turn number 1 as Cody Brewer leading the way up there. Kyle Emerson, Michelangelo, the top turtle right now in 4th place. Dylan Emerson's worked his way back up into 5th place. Then you see the 42 there on the outside. That's Anthony Emerson back here in 10th. Cody Handler in the 19, the bottom turtle right now in 12th place. But hopefully we can get a nice little green flag run here once again and see if we can complete a pit cycle under green. Certainly the last one that we had pitting under green had for the most part, the pit cycle was done other than the 3 cars that pit on a previous lap. Able to run it a little bit deeper and really benefited from that, and that's why you see Cody Brewer in that 12 still up there right now, still benefiting from that. But the 7 of Josh Duncan is your new leader.
Yeah, got out front, got around Cody Brewer. Josh has been pretty stout so far, and the driver that was chasing it was the 6 of Dylan Emerson, who's caught back here in the front of the battlefield here right now, trying to make their way through. Obviously only kind of here because of a minor mistake exiting the pits, taking some damage on that nose. I believe if I go to the rear chase,
Yep, that's it, all cleaned up.
Yeah, well, my rear chase and your rear chase are different, but the front end is all cleaned up, as you guys can all see. But yeah, no damage on that 6 right now, so all cleaned up, ready to go. Trying to get the 6 back out front. Now right behind the 21 of Richard Covington Jr. That's following Cody Brewer real closely here. So close race here tonight for these drivers. Over the halfway mark now. We're at lap 87 of 150. So well on our way downhill here to finish this thing off to see who will win the finale here tonight. Obviously, Dylan Emerson, your champion for the season. That was locked in. Was it last week or the
last week? Yeah,
or the week
last
before?
Week by showing up. Yeah, last week by showing up, he locked it in. But yeah, Kelly, I agree. It was definitely a rough night for you out there in the 20. Happy to have you in the comments, and probably happy to have you off the track as well, and out of the infield care center, because it was certainly a rough night for the team 20. But maybe a chance to get to work on a paint scheme that was referred to by Kathy. Maybe a bubble wrap paint scheme on that 20, because we were definitely caught up in quite a few incidents of not your doing before the last one there, and he definitely needs a bubble wrap on that car to keep it a little safer. But either way, it's still a good amount of cars out there. 12 cars on the lead lap. Looks like Wells, Greatcraft, Luno are still in the race, but two of them 2 laps down. Then Luno is 4 laps down. Kelly and Tim deciding to call it a night here, and probably don't blame him for either of them. But we are coming up on lap number 90 here, so next time by we're going to have 60 laps remaining in this race.
And you can hear these drivers really kind of downshifting now to kind of utilize the engine braking in order to get that car down on the yellow line. It is it feels dangerous. You come down here, this corner is inviting to go extremely fast. It's also inviting to go below that yellow line, by the way. But you can see how tight Will is coming off this corner here in number 24, and really relying on kind of that engine to get around here. And the only way to kind of battle that is backing up the corners. Don't attack them so hard. And maybe at this point though, obviously with the tires probably being beat up, maybe hoping that a caution would come out and get new tires a little bit sooner than later. But this is where the tire conservation comes in, and when you can really benefit you when the drivers get on the longer runs. And you can see Dylan able to get side by side here with the 21. Sorry, I have triples. I'm looking out my right monitor. I'm like, yeah, 21's right there. But yeah, the 21 on the outside here, just doing a good job. Just probably just taking it easy with the 6. We know the 6 was fast. He was up front, and now just kind of casually working his way back to the front. So just might be out there, just maybe conserving his tires just a little bit, knowing that maybe some of the other drivers are overdriving a little bit. There is signs when they're out there, when somebody goes into a corner, how fast they drift up, how wide they're staying, what line they're running. If you're a knowledgeable driver, you kind of know, what the other driver's doing. And maybe just signs of the car, going up to the wall, a lot like that. And not that the 12 actually hit the wall, it's probably a netcode dust or whatever you want to call it. You'll see it every now and then. Well, that was sparks, so the 12 actually stripped at that time. I mean, you want to give them all the signs here for me, Cody? I mean, you're doing a good job. But those are some of the signs as the 6 is watching in front of them, and know that the car in front of them is getting tight and his tires are going. So if you're easy on your tires, it's just a matter of time where they're just not going to have it and be able to make the move and the acceleration out of the corner. So he'll eventually take that spot. And there's plenty of race left. There's still 55 laps remaining as we just crossed the line for lap 96. But Josh Duncan doing the race here a favor, going out here out front and supporting Tommy there with Callahan Brakes.
Absolutely, yeah. It was a good looking paint scheme, certainly for the 7. And it took me a little bit. I'm like, where do I know that logo went? Yeah. I'm like, it's been a while
since I watched that movie too. Yeah, I missed that guy. I wish he was still around to make some good movies, man. Yes,
there was some fantastic comedians all on that era, but Chris Farley was definitely one of my favorites for sure. And even before that, Sam Kinnis and another one taken certainly too early. But good race here and a good restart from the field as a 3 bangs up against the wall back there. Braden Craycraft really trying to knock that wall out a little bit wider. Josh Duncan in the lead, Cody Brewer, Dylan Emerson, Richard Covington Jr., and Ron Millham for your top 5. Kyle Emerson, Kent Bice, Tiffany Ellis, Thomas O'Connor, Will O'Connor for your top 10. It's kind of funny. Every once in a while we see, at least on my side, somebody blink out on the SDK, and it looks like they're going to the pits. But now they're just cutting that apron so much that it makes it seem like they're in pit lane.
Yeah, I got Will O'Connor enter pit lane. Will O'Connor left pit lane. I mean, I'm like, wow, that was fast.
I've ever seen. I mean, forget Ferrari and Mercedes and Red Bull and McLaren. Now, 4 10 0.2 of a second pit stop beat that.
Yeah, it was. That's how far they go down, and trying to use that inner line down there, and I don't know. It just always felt weird, and to me, it just never felt like I needed to go that far down. But to watch it happen in front, like in the field, is just crazy, And I've seen people win that way. I've seen people lose that way trying to use that line. But yeah, this track is unique, and there's a lot of kind of in my brain. It's like when I'm looking at it, I'm thinking Darlington. The Lady in Black. We know how challenging that track would be, but how inviting, like how wide, down the straightaways is, and how much apron there is in the corners there as well. But you're never down there. So unless you're wrecking it after bouncing off the wall. So but that's what Phoenix reminds me of as well. So if I had to put a couple tracks together, this one, Darlington, not one of my favorite tracks. Unless I'm in a high downforce car and I could stick it wherever I want to. I'd just stay away from that track. The Lady in Black can have my stripe.
Well, and last week's track as well. You're definitely love yourself some worldwide technology. Raceway, another one that is a flat track and shaped like Darlington.
Oh yeah.
It is not an easy track to handle, but right now Josh Duncan handling the field. He's got a 1 second lead over Cody Brewer. And then it's still a close battle for second with Dylan Emerson, but then about a 2.5 second gap back to third and fourth, as you see right there, the 21 getting around the 91 of Ron Millum. Millum having a little bit of an issue there, but you see in the chat, it's time to get some new tires there, Austin, as Blaze is calling you into the pits, whether you like to or not. It's been you've been out there a little bit too long, but we should see some pit stops here coming up pretty soon, as the drivers, majority of them pitting on lap number 76. We got a couple drivers that came in on lap number 80, but you figure probably around like maybe 110 or so is when they're going to be coming in. But Jimmy, it's kind of right around that time where if this thing goes green the rest of the way, you need to figure out how to make this thing on one more pit stop, not two.
Yeah, we're already seeing Alec Luano come in at lap 96, and he's going to be short. So he will definitely have to come back in, unfortunately, for the 16, as we've seen him, struggling, trying to keep that car down to the bottom, but definitely loves new tires out there, running some pretty decent laps now, down to 27.46, so one of the faster cars on the track at the moment, even though he's 6 laps down. So new tires are big here. They do, if you abuse them, they go away quickly too. Only about, I'd say about 8-9 laps where they feel great, and then obviously the car will start pushing up to them corners, and it does not feel good at all when you're heading towards the wall.
No, not at all. And good that we still have as many cars out there as we do. I mean, we've seen some mix-ups early on in the race, and seen quite a few yellows, and seen quite a few cars getting into that wall, exiting turn number 2. Yeah, we're going to call it turn number 2, whether it is or not. Yeah, I mean, it's and not just brushing. We've seen a couple cars just whack that outside wall. So the fact that we got this many cars still running is great. And we do see Cody Handler now bringing the Donatello machine into the pits, and maybe the start of some pit stops here. I think it's still a little bit early. It's actually, I think it's a lot bit early. I don't think these cars can make it, 45 laps here. I mean, that's a big stretch. I think you're going to have to get probably close to 115 to be, real safe when it comes to make it on fuel. If not, you're going to be saving a lot, or need to save a lot of fuel on that last run. But you never know. I mean, a caution comes out, throws everything out of whack anyway. So I'm not saying that these drivers are by any means out of the running, but for the ones that are still out there, Josh Duncan, Cody Brewer, Dylan Emerson, and the rest at the top, you want to try and figure out a way to get this thing to 115 if you can. Yeah,
I mean, you want to obviously try to stretch it out, obviously, with the drivers kind of, I think after, obviously, the amount of laps they had to do here tonight, just finally kind of settling down. And it's kind of like that during endurance races too, Carl. The beginning, nightmare. Like the first stint and a half, or what we call a stint is a full tank of gas. After you replace your full tank of gas and tires and come back out, and caution comes out as we hit 110. So
now that's interesting though, Jimmy, when it comes out right now, because if the drivers come in, which you know they're going to, not sure if they can make it all the way to the end. It is going to be borderline. You see Tiffany Ellis coming into the pits anyway. I don't think pit road was open just yet, but there it is, the 19 of Cody Handler getting loose with those cold new tires.
Tough break for the 19 as he doesn't look like he gets involved or hit, but brand new tires, if they weren't warm, they sure are now.
That's going to rack the field back up here. We're going to have 40 laps to go. It's going to be under 40 when we get back going here, but oh man, I don't know how this is going to play out here with the fuel. I mean, if they get one or two more cautions, they can maybe make it to the end, but you're locked. You got to come in for fuel here, and maybe we see some of the drivers like Cody Handler stay out and maybe at least try and get one of those laps back, which I'm sure we're going to see right now. Yeah, he's going to stay out there to try and get a wave around, but everyone else here, the top 11 into the pits. Looks like Cody Handler, Austin Wells, Alec Luno, Kelly Akron out of the race, and Tim Felker out of the race as well, but all the lap cars staying out this time. We'll see if anybody comes in next time by. We'll see who wins the battle off of pit road. Josh Duncan was enjoying a nice lead there for a while. Tiffany Ellis overshoots the pit box a little bit, backs up into it. Everybody going for 4 tires. You can't take a chance this late, or this much time left in the race to try for 2 tires and battle off a pit road.
Yeah, Cody Handler a lap down though, so
it was close right there. But yeah, I was wondering. It looked like Cody Brewer was in the lead, but it gives the lead up here to Josh Duncan. Either way, the 7 in the lead. We'll see the rest of the cars coming out here. Looks like Josh Duncan, Cody Brewer, Richard Covington Jr., Ron Millum, Kent Bice, Kyle Emerson, Thomas O'Connor, Tiffany Ellis, Will O'Connor, and Anthony Emerson for your top 10. Dylan Emerson back in the pit lane here and gonna get his service done, but looks like maybe some, I don't know if it was a penalty or getting some repairs done, but a long pit stop for the 6.
Cody Handler is with this. No, I think he's just 1 lap down. But able to get that wave around since he was already in and stayed out. He was in lap 106, and then obviously in that caution, but not coming in. Able to kind of stay out there and go from 2 laps down to 1 lap down. So in a good spot here, coming towards the ending part of the race here, being the only car a lap down. Now not to be involved in another incident, and then if a caution were to fly, Cody Handler would be in a perfect position to get that lucky dog and be able to come down and get fuel again. Obviously be in the back of the pack, but so, for Cody, out there, tough break getting spun around on them cold tires, but at least in a position here to get back on the lead lap if something were to happen. And we're going green here as he just got back up to the field. Josh Duncan. Timing. Yeah, perfect time as Josh Duncan. Everybody just spreading out back here, going through that starting area. But yeah, just crazy restarts here at Phoenix. But just doing well at the moment. So good run so far. I think some pretty good signs. Ooh, the 21 being loose. The 18 getting loose. Trying to avoid them.
Great save there by the 18. As that could have been in trouble for quite a few cars, but Thomas O'Connor with a great save right there. Now you see the 6 of Dylan Emerson had that long pit stop, but he's back out there in 8th place. We've seen he was the leader early on. He was your pole sitter. He is your champion, but we haven't seen him get back up to the front. The 24 wicked loose out of the corner. Gonna save it, wax the inside wall. It's gonna stay green. But certainly some damage to Will O'Connor off of the corner. Got really loose and down into the inside wall. Out front, Josh Duncan shot out of a cannon as he's 1.8 seconds up right now because everybody just tussling with each other back here from second on back. I mean, throw a blanket from second back to 8th place right now, maybe even further as they are all battling. I mean, we still got 40 plus laps to go, or 30 plus laps to go, so plenty of time, but I think these drivers are antsy to get some racing here. Everybody's close to each other, and you feel like you can get a couple positions. You see right there the 6 of Dylan Emerson trying to get himself back up into the top 5.
Yeah, it's coming down. Obviously, we're talking about a possible pit stop here at the end. One more caution might be, the drivers might be able to extend it out, and then, who's going to come in, to be on newer tires, and it could be the drivers, just at the tail end of the lead lap that could benefit if everybody decides to stay in. So I can see like the second half of the top 10 coming in if a caution were to happen. But right now, got a lot of close racing. Everybody's kind of grouped up together again, give them that adrenaline rush, a fresh new breath of hope to try to gain some positions here for the final race of the season.
Unfortunately, we did lose a third driver here, Austin Wells, and hopefully, hopefully everything is okay in the Wells household for his daughter as well. Thoughts and prayers here from CRN. Never a fun situation. I've certainly had my situations like that as well, but we'll keep this thing racing here, and we'll see if we get a good finish here as Josh Duncan doesn't seem like he wants to be involved with any racing here tonight. He wants to just run away from this as the 18 having some more issues off the corner as Thomas O'Connor going backwards, but Josh Duncan going forwards. I mean, you see, looking back from the back of Josh Duncan, he's got a 2.5 second lead over Kent Bice in second, and even Kent Bice has got a 1.2 second lead over Kyle Emerson, as this battle for second is maybe finally shifted around here enough that it's stretching out now here once again as we're down to 30 laps left in this race.
Yeah, 30 laps remaining. It's still a good portion of laps here, and we're coming in that window, and I'm sure drivers are watching that fuel gauge. How many laps can I go? What's my average? Do I need to save? Do I need to push? Is there going to be a caution coming out? Any of these things can happen here. But a lot of battling going on here. A lot of drivers still close here. The gap back to the 10th from the lead is only 7 seconds.
Dylan Emerson back into the top 5 now as Cody Brewer in the 12 falling back here a little bit, but you see he's already got the 91 and the 60 in sight, trying to get himself back up into the podium spots here and have a fight maybe for the win here before the night is over. Tiffany Ellis maybe had a move on with Cody Brewer, but Brewer focusing on the exit now, going to be side by side through the dog leg, but Tiffany Ellis going to hold on to 6th place for the time being. Josh Duncan, Kent Bice, Ron Millam, Kyle Emerson, Dylan Emerson for your top 5, but now Dylan Emerson into 4th place. Tiffany Ellis, Cody Brewer, Richard Covington Jr., Thomas O'Connor, and Anthony Emerson for your top 10, as the 16 Alec Luno is going to bring out a caution. And you see right there, just got that apron. Yep. Yeah,
getting that apron, snapping that car around. So 16 have some struggles here tonight. And, we're talking a little about it, but, obviously things come up when you're sitting here in the sim, and, when you drop, and we'll just go back to, I had a nickname for a while because my dogs were fighting. And I parked the car. We were on a road race, so there's no cautions. I mean, a caution flag, local caution flag. But I parked the car on the track and got up out of the rig and just left the handle of my dogs that were arguing or fighting a little bit. So yeah, I got a nickname for that for a while, and it was kind of funny. But when you gotta go, you gotta go. You just get up and go. I'm sorry, just DQ me, kick me out, do whatever. But I came back, and I think I put it in the pits or whatever, or just kind of ran around when I could. But yeah, and you gotta go, and definitely family is more important, first and foremost, and especially the children. So wish them all the luck out there, and I don't wish that on anybody, especially when you gotta go to the doctors to take care of something. So hope everything is okay for sure.
Well, we got some strategy calls here on this pit stop because we're down to 25 laps to go. So, a chance to maybe mix it up here a little bit, get some track position, and maybe free up that car. Tiffany Ellis, Cody Brewer, 2-tire pit stop here for both of them. We'll see if it pays off. It's definitely gonna, help get that car rotated. Hopefully, it doesn't rotate too much on them and cost them a good finish, but gets them now up into second and third. I'm sure Josh Duncan didn't really want to see this caution come out, enjoying a very, very sizable lead. He's gonna have to build that back up again, but he is back out there as your leader after the pit stops here. Tiffany Ellis, Cody Brewer in second and third. Then you got Kyle Emerson, Ron Millum for your top 5. Dylan Emerson back in 6th. Ken Bice, Anthony Emerson, Will O'Connor, Thomas O'Connor for your top 10. Want to thank everyone out there in Sierra Nation for tuning in here once again. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that Sierra has to offer. Also, shout out to series sponsor here, TDM Motorsports, for everything that they do here for PRSLR. Hey, Jimmy, I got it right.
Wow.
Took me all season. Took me about 35
it's literally
tries.
on the overlay.
Well, that's how I got it right. I'm not gonna BS you. That's how I got it right. I looked directly at it. I'm not gonna.
It's the first letter of each word in the league's name.
Eyes wider than a crack addict, looking at that, making sure I get every letter correct. But either way, we're correct, and we're ready to go back racing here. Less than 25 laps to go here. 23 to go here at the line. Back on the loud pedal is the 7 of Josh Duncan, looking to run away from the field here again. Keep an eye on that second position as both those cars, 2 tires for the 12 and the 88, making it through the corner and looking all the way to the outside. The 60. It looks like the 42, the 18, the 21 all getting involved in this one. The 18 hard impact to the outside wall. Going to bring us out under another caution.
22 laps to go. Final race of the season. I mean, it's like, the 4th down situation in football. You can see him 3 wide here. 42, a little bit too much gas. Nowhere to go for a few of the drivers, and then just, kind of mayhem until they come to a stop here. But a few drivers involved here will kind of see what happened to some of the others here. It's quick, the 42. The 24, 21 after running up front, getting involved there just a little bit. But, having to try to save it. You can see him sideways, 18, the 3 coming down.
And just gets wiped out there by the 3 of Braden Craycraft.
Ooh, some net code off the 3 into the 21 to send the 21 back on the wall. Tough break for some of these drivers, especially the 18 getting spun around. Probably quicker than you can break for a Butterfinger.
Yeah, that's a hard impact for the 18 backing it into the wall. But it's going to lessen the laps here for Josh Duncan and less of a chance for everyone else to get up there and get ahead of that number 7 here tonight. All these cars looked really great to start the night, but some starting to look a little rougher than others around the ridges here. But the 7 nice and clean up there, as is the 12 and the 88. Looks like the wave around is going to go to, I'll try to see, I think it is Alec Luno getting the wave around there in the 16 to get one of his laps back. But we're going to have, it looks like 11, maybe 12. It looks like 12 cars. Yep, O'Connor back out of the pit, so it is going to be 12 cars on the lead lap here. But Josh Duncan leads the way. Cody Brewer, Tiffany Ellis trying to make that 2-tire pit stop work. Kyle Emerson, Dylan Emerson for your top 5. Dylan trying to get back to the front. Hasn't been up there since the beginning of this race because of the caution coming out during the pit cycle. Ron Millum, Kent Bice, Will O'Connor, Cody Handler, and Anthony Emerson for your top 10. Jimmy, I mean, does anybody have anything for that 7? I guess is really the big question. It seems to be the man to beat right now.
I mean, obviously the 6 is there. The 6 was up there. 6 is, just kind of worked his way kind of methodically through the field. I had some incidents, obviously. Cautions being able to negate that and put him back in a position where, it needs to get there. But, still 20 laps to go, Carl. And, cooler tires and whatnot can really hinder some things here. But pace car's in. Lights are off, obviously. And the 7's going to get this thing back under green. We're going to float around here in the drone cam, see what kind of shots we can get as they come down the that long backstretch into the long extended turn number 1.
Yeah, which is actually now turn number 3
Yep.
as they head into the restart zone one more time. Josh Duncan, your control car back on the loud pedal. We're racing again here in Phoenix, heading towards the dog leg. Everyone on the inside line cutting down, trying to cut it off as much as possible. Good battle here as Dylan Emerson tried to dive it in there, but now going to look maybe 3 wide, but he's going to back out of the 60 of Kyle Emerson on the outside. Going to battle with him for 4th place. Meanwhile, Josh Duncan, Cody Brewer, and Tiffany Ellis trying to get out and get away. But that 7 up into the wall, the first mistake we've seen from Josh Duncan is going to not only cost him the lead, it's going to cost him 2nd place as well. Heading into turn number 1, Tiffany Ellis, little slide job there from the late model driver, but a crossover from Josh Duncan. Going to get him back into 2nd place. And now the 6 of Dylan Emerson looking to try and capitalize as well. Going to dive down on the dog leg. But meanwhile, the 12 of Cody Brewer trying to run away from this field.
Yeah, Cody out front taking advantage of the small mistakes happened by his fellow league mates back there, battling out for P number 2. Trying to get a good finish here, and Cody's going to try to run away with the 12, but they're going to hunt him down here quickly. Just has to be patient and all around. With Tiffany is letting up there just a little bit to kind of let the drivers around him, around her, go here, but still holding on to P number 3 as the 6 has moved into P number 2.
A little bit wide there in turn number 1. Trying to get to rotate back down, going to cost her a spot and maybe 2 here as the 60 of Kyle Emerson now dives down to the inside. But now we see Dylan Emerson back up into 2nd. Does the 6 have enough time to get up there and battle with the 12? We're down to 15 laps to go here at Phoenix and in the season. This is the season finale for the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series. Already have our champion in 2nd place with Dylan Emerson, already crowned last week. So nothing on the line other than pride and a win. And Emerson's trying to go back to back to back to finish out the season and really put a stamp on this championship. But man, we got some battling all throughout the field. Tiffany Ellis dives down on the inside, way on the apron to try and get away from everybody, I think. And still on the apron on the backstretch, and might be some issues here for the 88.
If it wasn't a sim, it almost looked like a front left tire went down as she came down and hit that inside wall. It's not too often you see the inside wall without going sideways, but damage to the 88 now is going to impede on their ability to get around this track, but holding on to it right now, still in the top 10. But up front, Cody Brewer is being chased by Dylan Emerson. Dylan Emerson has caught the back bumper of that 12. We haven't seen the 6 up front since the first 25 laps or so. Now threatening to take that away from the Raptor machine.
Defensive move for the 12 and the 6 back into the back bumper of the 12 into turn number 1, and that's going to bring the 7 into the picture here. The 3 is a lap car. Braden Craycraft, a lap car up there, 4th in line, but the 6 gonna get into the 12, and it is gonna bring out a yellow here as Cody Brewer gets sent down to the inside, and we're gonna have a late yellow flag here as Dylan Emerson maybe a little impatient on that one, sent it to the inside, gets to the quarter panel, and that's all she wrote there for the 12.
And you can see not much counter steering until right about now. for the 12, and it probably is what kept the 12 from actually going sideways, and then just locking it up, getting the speed off the machine, slowing it down, and you can just see how out of control the car still is when you just try to put a little bit of gas into it, turning it around, keeping it off the wall. I mean, very, very close, maybe a touch,
Smooch.
but just a smooch. Yeah, the Raptor was here, but good save there for the 12 after getting spun. I'm sure he'll get back out there and get running. I would like to try to drive through the field, but 12 or 10 laps to go now, Carl. So the race is coming down to the end here. Obviously, you don't like to have an incident this late in the race, which puts you behind the Powerball. But obviously going to come out there with some newer tires, but you have to warm them up. Is there enough time for Cody to come back up to the field? We will see. We had some drivers gamble a little bit with just 2 tires. Tiffany Ellis falling, being up there in P number 2, falling back to 8th. And who was the other one that took 2?
It was Cody Brewer. It was the 12. The one in the pits right now. Well, we'll see. We'll see what the 12 can do. I'm surprised that the 88 decided to stay out here and not come in and get some fresh tires and maybe fix that car up a little bit. To at least make one good run through the field, because we still got a little bit under 10 laps to go, but that's still time to make your way up through the field with these drivers. Now about 20 lap old tires when we get this thing going back.
It's gonna be big.
As it looks like it is gonna be 1 lap to green when we get to the line here. As the pace car lights will go out, it's going to be Dylan Emerson, Josh Duncan, Kyle Emerson, Richard Covington Jr., and Kent Bice for Kyle Emerson and Ron Millum for your top 5. Then Kent Bice, Thomas O'Connor, Tiffany Ellis, Anthony Emerson, Cody Handler for your top 10. The 12 of Cody Brewer back there in 12th position for this restart, and the last one on the lead lap. Craycraft getting a lap back there, but still down, I believe it's either 1 or 2 laps yet for the 3. But yeah, the pace car lights are out. We'll get them fired off, and it's going to be down to, is it 8 or 7 laps here?
8.
Not sure for me. It's going to be 7 laps to go when we get the green flag.
Yep. We're on 8 right now. Yeah, and it's still plenty of racing. It's going to be a short shootout, and these racers are hungry for the last race to get this win, to get it over with. But I don't know if the hard battling is quite over just yet.
Well, once again, if you're looking to get into season 2 for the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series, there is time. The season 2 is going to be starting on November 5th with the Clash to start off the season. But we got to finish season 1 first, and the 6 of Dylan Emerson has found his way back to the lead one way or another, and the champion looking to go back to finish out the season with 3 wins. But there's plenty of drivers that would love to upset him, and Richard Covington Jr. now in his 2nd place. I think is the highest we've seen, that 21. What does he have to say? He's got 4 lap newer tires on the right side of that car. Can't get to the back bumper that time by. It's going to drive it wide. It's going to give the 7 a chance to move back up into 2nd place as we're down to 6 laps to go.
Yeah, down to 6 laps to go. 21 with some newer tires, but gets the momentum taken away by the 7 there, as the 7 was able to get in front and take away 2nd place. Leader Dylan Emerson now back to the front after ever since from the beginning was out there. We never know the difference if you turn on the race at the beginning and you turn on the race now. You're like, oh, he's still out front. but trying to walk away a winner. 5 laps to go for Dylan. Josh Duncan is trailing with Richard Covington behind him. Then it's Kyle Emerson in the 60. Kent Bice in number 1, followed closely by Thomas O'Connor. Definitely had his share of troubles. And then Tiffany Ellis Kemp is right there with Ron Millum as well. We've seen Ron up there for a little bit. And now even Anthony Emerson in that top 10, trying to maybe move their way up to the field just a little bit more.
Well, one thing I think we do have is this race has kind of had 2 cars be the ones to watch. So the dominant cars out there, and they're first and second right now. The 6, Dylan Emerson, got the pole out here tonight, led a bunch of the early laps before the caution, and then the 7 of Josh Duncan was kind of the other one that led a ton of laps here, other than the 12 of Cody Brewer. They both start on the front row. They started first and second. They're first and second right now. But I don't know how long that's going to stay, because the 7 gets a good run out of the corner, but now it got loose.
Gosh.
Okay, we didn't get loose. I was going to say I didn't see the yellow pop up right away for me, but I thought he was going to have a heck of a run. I think he did have a run. That might have been a chance for him to get to the lead, but it's going to go by the wayside. And just Tiffany Ellis gets sandwiched there in turn number 1. With the 1 in front of Ken Bice, and then the 42 of Anthony Emerson, and then gets tagged.
Turtle sandwich.
From Cody Andler as well. Must be a couple snapping turtles out there. As the 12 of Cody Brewer going to pick up a couple spots on that and move himself back up into 8th. But now I would think we'd probably see the 88 of Tiffany Ellis, indeed, come into the pits and get some repairs done.
Yeah, hopefully having a fast repair here and maybe able to get a position or two. And this track, obviously, with as wide as you can go coming off the start line, it's just kind of crazy to watch, because they spread out so far. It's like 10 cars wide that they have the distance here. And you can just see here, looking off the nose of Josh Duncan, how much room is down there. There's so many lanes down below that yellow line, and they... obviously, we get the alert on SDK that they've entered the pits, and they leave the pits just that quickly. So, yeah, it's going to be a tight one here down to the end. It's been exciting. Obviously, early on, not wanting to see the early cautions, and some drivers kind of being benched or happen to reuse all their fast repairs super early. But here we are at the end of the race. We still have a lot of drivers out on the track. Some being called away for much bigger situations, but you have right now, so that's Tim, Kelly Acker, and Austin Wells obviously out. Alec Lawano down in the pits right now, 5 laps down. Braden Craycraft in the number 3, he's only 1 lap down.
Yes, he just got another wave around right there. I was just going to say he needs the second green white checker to be triggered as well. This is going to be our first attempt, because 150 laps wasn't enough, but Craycraft now only down 1 lap, trying to have the ultimate fight back here. But he's going to need one more caution before this thing is over. Pace car lights are out. It's overtime. 150 wasn't enough to finish this season up. They need some more. Does Josh Duncan have enough to get to Dylan Emerson before this thing ends? Can the 21 there of Richard Covington get up there and sneak away a win? We're about to find out here. This is going to be the first attempt at a green-white checker to have a maximum of 2 here for tonight, but the 6 is your control car.
6 is the control car, and it's a good spot to be here, and with just a few laps to go, and he has been quick and has overcome some challenges here tonight, and this is the last of the challenges, is to get a good start, lead the final laps, and walk away the winner, the champion, put the stamp on the season, or call it a wrap, whatever you may call it, and hopefully take that momentum going into the next season. That's just around the corner here for these drivers, and he does get a nice start here, nice jump, a good enough start, matter of fact, for the 21 to even pull alongside the 7 there, as the 7 goes high, 21's low, 18 looking to get in there as well. Back on the back corners here. I'll go back just a little bit because they're too wide, as the second caution is flying in the air. As we are not done, Carl. The caution is out, as they could not make it around to the last line. And it does, see who is back there. See 42 and 3.
Hopefully the 3 wasn't involved, because if he wasn't, he'll be back on the lead lap.
Yeah, I think he was. I thought I seen him. We'll just see if he slowed down. Just the caution flies. Trying to see what happens. See 7 and 12 or 7 and 21 battling.
Looks like the 42 drives in pretty deep. Not the issue. Oh, the 12 diving down low underneath the 42, clips the 42, and going to send Emerson sideways, but I don't see the 3 getting involved. And if that's what brought out the caution, that was kind of a weak caution there. And yeah, it is. That's what brought out the caution right there. That little bit of a brush, and then the 24 gets in the wall. Almost into the 19, but going to save it. So it's going to bring out our final caution of the night. As we get you back live, everybody grouping back up. And I believe what you're going to see, the 3 of Braden Craycraft back on the lead lap. What a fight back. I mean, he doesn't have enough time to get up there and mix it up for the win unless there's a big accident or something like that. But just the fact that he's back all the way on the lead lap.
That's a win.
Way to stick it out here and maybe have a chance at a top 10 before this thing is over. But we're going to have to see what the restart has in store, because now Richard Covington Jr. is starting in second, with Josh Duncan starting behind the 6th and 3rd. Thomas O'Connor in 4th. Last attempt for the season to get this thing in. It's the second of 2 green-white checkers. Should be doubling them up this next time by. We'll see if the pace car lights get turned off this time.
Should be.
And
yes.
Indeed, the pace car lights are out. So here we go. Time to double it up. And we got the poll up there. Who you got? You got the 6 of Emerson. You got the 7 of Duncan. You got the 21 of Covington. You can throw in the 18 in there as well if you want to have a right-hand ballot. If you think that that 18's got something for these leaders yet as well, with Thomas O'Connor and that Butterfinger machine. But we are going to get this thing restarted. Dylan Emerson is your control car, but these guys behind him have got to figure it out, and figure it out quick, because the last couple times they got to tussling amongst themselves and let that 6 check out here a little bit. Down the backstretch one final time. And it's the last time we'll see the pace car this season, because it's time to get the final restart going here. Green, white, checkered. Back to the restart zone. And the 6 wasting no time as we're back to racing here at Phoenix. Good restart by the 6. The 7's going to dive way down low to try and cut it off.
The 18
with a big run into turn number 1. Not going to be enough as they're getting close to wrecking behind. The 7 is going to clear the 21. Not too far behind the 6. The 6 the end of the wall.
Yellow.
And it looks like the yellow is going to come out. And that is going to hand the win to the 6 of Dylan Emerson. He's going to go back to back. Would love to see this thing finish under caution to see if the 7 had anything for him on that last lap. But there it is. We will see the pace car one more time to get this thing finished up. But the race will be over once they get back to the checker flag here. And we'll get our final results. But we've seen it before. Make sure you cross the start-finish line.
The final race of the season. Sometimes people like to celebrate early and maybe try to cross the line backwards. I mean, it doesn't end well. And obviously getting a DQ, and then obviously the field gets thrown around for a loop. But I think the 6 here will just kind of get this thing done as they're coming around here out of turn number 3 right now, and gonna get probably a friendly little bump from his teammates, his league mates, pushing him across. Obviously getting that win here tonight, Dylan Emerson. Congratulations, not only on the win here tonight, but obviously again on the championship here at Pit Road Speed Limit Racing. Finishing up here at Phoenix, 157 laps in the books total here tonight, so they didn't want to just do 150. They had to take a couple more laps. They enjoyed it so much. not Tim, but like I said, I was saving you a seat up here, Tim. But yeah, good run for the league here, and some great racing. Some not so great racing at times, as far as maybe some of the things. But you see the turtles getting together to maybe throw out some pizzas and make some donuts.
Somebody's got to let Donatello in there. Donatello's going to make his own room. And I'm part of this, guys.
Like, hey, wait a minute.
I know my name's not not Emerson, but I'm part of this too.
Just a great run there. To see them all up there like that, and it's a lot of fun to see the camaraderie between teammates. To run like paint schemes, and what a good way by just something as iconic as especially if you grew up in that era of the Ninja Turtles. So just great pictures there, and for the league, and I'm sure for maybe their team webpage. But here's the celebration that we're looking for by the 6 as he burns it down for the last time for the inaugural season here at Pit Road Speed Limit Racing.
The Turtles dancing on their shells right now as the 6 of Leonardo Emerson gets it done here tonight. But your final order for tonight is going to be Dylan Emerson getting the win, Josh Duncan in second, Thomas O'Connor, Richard Covington Jr., and Kyle Emerson for your top 5. Ron Millum, Will O'Connor, Cody Brewer, Tiffany Ellis, and Cody Handler for your top 10. Braden Craycraft almost came all the way back to get a top 10. He's going to finish in 11th. Anthony Emerson, Kent Bice, Alec Luno, and Austin Wells for your top 15. Then Kelly Akron and Tim Felker for your 17-car field. But Jimmy, it's time to get one last round of interviews in here tonight. Certainly, it may take a little bit till Dylan Emerson gets done celebrating this one. We got our other 2 ready to get some interviews, and we'll go ahead and we'll let you start it off here tonight with a heck of a comeback here from the 18 of Thomas O'Connor. Almost got up there to get the win, but the 18 of Thomas O'Connor coming in at 3rd.
Thomas, is Jimmy and Carl up in the booth. You copy?
Oh, yeah. Copy, guys.
One heck of a race, man. I mean, obviously filled with challenges, cautions, tire wear, fuel saving, weird angles on parts of the track you'd never thought you'd ever drive in a race car. But biggest mover of the race, too, by the way, to finish in P number 3. So I want to say congratulations, first of all. But give us a rundown on how you kind of looked at this race being 150 laps, longer than all the races so far this season, and to kind of walk away here with a great finish with a 3rd place.
Yeah, I mean, it was a challenge. I have to say that at first. I had terrible qualifying. I couldn't get around the track without spinning. So that put me in the back. And so kind of going into the race, I thought, kind of just run around and just try to get the groove. But man, I just kept getting caught in so many accidents. But then, gosh, right about in the middle of the race, I started feeling the car. The car was coming through. I started getting to an amazing rhythm, and I was able to just kind of work my way back up to the front. Then again, I kind of got, I would go 2 steps forward and then like 5 steps back. Got caught into a couple wrecks right there at the end. But, what I'm more proud of, if anything, is my entire team. We all finished in the top 6. Me, Richard, and Josh, we finished 1, 2, and 2, 3, and 4. Proud of those guys. And what a race for Dylan. What a race for like the last 4 races. Just 3 wins in a row, top 5s. He's the reason why he's the champion. But I'm glad I just got a top 3. Good season. Super excited I'm proud of everybody in this league. So
yeah, getting the 3rd place finish and here tonight, obviously with the next season on the horizon here, not too far away. As I believe it's in November. This is good momentum for you, I think, in the 18, and maybe some for good things to challenge Dylan there for that next season's champion. So definitely congratulations here tonight. This was a long one. This one was challenging on the short track, flat track. What I hate track type of a circle for myself, and maybe some of your other few league mates have that same feeling. So I'm in agreement. But yeah, congratulations, man. You deserve it. Yeah, a good run here tonight, the 3rd place and whatnot. So from CRN and everybody else out here, we want to say congratulations and give you some time for any shouts you might have in that 18.
Yeah, thank you guys. It's been amazing working with you guys. It's amazing to just watch our league on YouTube. And my brother keeps texting me right now. He's the 24 car. If it wasn't for him in the last 5 races, him spinning me, I think I had a better chance of competing with Dylan. So I give him a lot of crap because he's the reason why I lost this championship and lost the battle. But got to thank my family. I got to thank you guys. I thank the league. It's been amazing. Gosh, I don't even know how many weeks it's been. Like 18 weeks. It's been a long season. We're all worn out. Dylan's just been kicking our butts, but I can't thank you guys enough. It's amazing, and I can't wait for next season. We've gotten the rhythm down. I think all us admins and Cody. So I think we're very excited. We're eager to get going, but we definitely need these 2 weeks of a break. So thanks again. I can't thank you guys enough. So thank you.
Appreciate all the kind words and looking forward to seeing what next season's all about here at Pit Road Speed Limit Racing, and who will be here to defend or challenge that championship title. So again, congratulations on the 3rd place finish, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Yes, sir.
Is the 3rd place finisher here tonight, the 18 of Thomas O'Connor. Jimmy, do I finally have a brotherly rivalry? I'm certainly looking forward to it already for next season.
Yes.
But we're going to have to wait on that. We're going to have to wait on that for now. I'm going to have to calm myself down. Just patience. I'm going to have to think of some storylines. But anyway, in the meantime, let's get into our 2nd place finisher here tonight, the 7 of Josh Duncan. Josh, you were definitely one of the top cars here tonight. Maybe, between you and Dylan, probably the fastest cars out there. Maybe had a little bit of an edge there at the end as well. Just couldn't get those cautions to stop flying and give you an extra shot at the 6. But I mean, you come home in 2nd. It's got to feel good to at least finish in 2nd here tonight. But I kind of get the feeling you feel like one slipped away here.
It did, because I don't know if you saw, I tagged the wall. I had real damage.
Yes.
And
yes,
but I also believe that I had enough. If we had one more lap, I think I could have put the car beside him. It was just still good enough that I think I could have got beside him, at least beside him, if not maybe around him. But yeah, it was fun. I think I looked at one point in time, I had at least a 2.5 second gap on 2nd place.
Well, listen, I mean, there were some cool paint schemes out there, obviously, with the 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cars out there. But I got to say, you were one of my favorites out there with the auto parts. Big fan of Tommy Boy. And it took me a second to look at him like, that looks familiar. I'm like, oh, and as soon as it clicked, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I grew up on some Tommy Boy. And being an Ohioan, I have seen Prehistoric Forest. So,
nice.
Yeah, I am very much a Tommy Boy fan. So I asked one of our teammates to make that for me. My buddy, my best friend, Dylan, made that for me because he goes, give me a sponsor. I want to make a paint scheme. And so, of course, my brain automatically reverts back to being a teenager and says Callahan Auto Parts.
As it should. I think the only thing you need is a little bruise on the one side of the car.
It's got one of those.
Oh, it does? Well, it did after you smacked the wall, for sure.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, either way, a great run out here. Wish you would have had a chance to get up there, mix it up with Dylan, but either way, you come home with 2nd here tonight. So congrats on the finish to finish out the season. Before we let you go and get out of here, who do you give a shout out to or thanks to?
Thankful to my teammates. I'm very thankful for this group, and I'm thankful for all the people that watch and support me. It's really fun watching, hearing people text me or message me afterwards. So I'm really thankful for those people that come and spend the time watching the broadcast. And I'm thankful for you guys because I love watching this. I'm going to go back and watch this right now.
All right, buddy. Well, we appreciate it. And once again, congrats on the finish. Good luck for next season. Hopefully we see you out there and mix it up and get some wins.
Yeah, we're going to hope for more than just one this season.
Exactly. That is 2nd place finisher here tonight, the 7 of Josh Duncan. Top spot here tonight is going to go to the 6 of Leonardo Emerson.
Yo, Jimmy and Carl up in the boot. You copy?
Cowabunga, dudes.
Hey, man, I mean, what a way to finish. You had the championship in the bag, but to come out here and you were out front from the rip and on the pole here tonight to just kind of say, I'm the man. I'm taking over. You guys need to chase me all night long. But then get involved. You're going into pits. And I don't know what the heck you did, but coming out of the pits, I was like, what's this guy doing? But able to overcome the obstacles, make your way through the field cleanly, quietly, and get to the front yet again to finish this thing off with a win, just to kind of wrap this season up. And it's been a great season so far watching you. So, I mean, I have my views. Obviously, you can go back and watch the whole race of what, kind of unfolded. But give us a rundown, man, on what you were thinking. I mean, this wasn't your typical race. This is 150 laps at a very unique track, and definitely one of the more challenging ones out there.
Yeah, last night I started off last night testing a little bit, and I'm like, oh no, I'm half a second off. This is not good. And then I figured something out. I was like, okay, it's okay. And then we qualified, and I see the one down there, and I'm like, uh-oh, I'm in danger. I just qualified on the pole. This is not good for the rest of the field. Last time I did this, it was Richmond. So here we go. And then, over-revved coming out of the pits on that green flag run. I'm like, oh, well, okay. This is it. Either I'm going to spin and win, or I just gave it away. And it thankfully started coming back. Then my headset said it was dying. I'm like, uh-oh. Oh, like didn't even tell me a percentage anymore. I'm like, oh no. So I was sitting on pit road trying to charge it, which I did not successfully do. And I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm starting like 12th. This is not good. And I was able to drive back on 5th, back up to 5th on that run. I'm like, okay. We're not out of it yet, as long as my headset stays alive. And then thankfully it just stayed enough charge till it end, and charging now.
Well, you sound like you had your hands full all race. I mean, obviously, like I said, the obstacles, the small mistake. I'm sure your league mates are out there. You're like, finally, 6 is out of the way. We don't have to worry about them. I mean, there's all kinds of things out there, but you do it again. You do what you've been doing all season, and to get the wins at the end, especially to kind of wrap up the season. It's really kind of hopefully you be able to take this momentum and move in for a short break and turn right back around and come back out here and continue your march here and have the field chase you around. But either way, man, I think it was an impressive run here tonight by yourself to overcome things like you were talking about. Heck, I wouldn't have known you're losing a headset. I can only imagine racing with no sound, as you're listening to tires screeching, maybe somebody talking, crew chief telling you who's left and right, especially people going like entering pit lane at the exit and then coming back out. SDK is going off like a wild child over here, thinking people are pitting in like 0.3 seconds. It was crazy. So, but
some guys listen to music while they're driving. I don't get it. I need to listen to the car. I need to hear it.
I've done the music. The music isn't too bad sometimes, but I definitely need to listen to the car. The RPMs is what I go off of.
Now, were you doing a lot of shifting out there tonight?
Yeah, I was going down to 4th for both corners. And that was about it. So it wasn't too much, and I wasn't running a dog leg either like most people. I felt like it wore our tires a little more, and I wasn't about that.
So, and now as the champion and obviously winning so many races here towards the end of the race, what can you pass on to your league mates that might give them a better little advantage to chase you down next season?
What are you willing to pass on?
Yeah, what are you willing to pass down?
Go buy a Moza wheel. I think that's where the turning point was.
Go get us some magic. Obviously, I'm a Sim Magic fan. No, I mean, anytime you get new gear, it definitely can help or hurt if you have to retrain yourself. But man, like I said, again, just impressive run at the end of the season, all season long, and tonight. So we want to say congratulations on your championship, the win here tonight, and give you some time for any shouts you might have in that number 6 there, Leo.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. It's been a fun season. I really enjoy having you guys come on and do the broadcast. I think that's made it a lot more fun and interesting, and not just running races. So I think that's been fun. But I do want to dedicate this win to Dylan Jacobs. He's currently going through something right now, and this one's for him.
Roger that, and we all keeping Dylan in our thoughts here and at CRN, and especially out there as the fans as well. Definitely have a ton of people that continue to watch you all, even in the wee hours of the night here. So again, congratulations, man, and hope to this continues forward for your next season, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Sir. Yes, sir.
That's your winner here tonight, winning 3 in a row to finish out the season, 4 wins on the season total. Championship, I mean, you name it. It was a great season here for the 6 of Dylan Emerson. Definitely shout out to Dylan Jacobs, and thoughts and prayers, as Jimmy says, just echoing that for Dylan Jacobs out there. Hopefully everything goes well for him. But in the meantime, I want to thank all the fans out there for tuning in as well. And we definitely got plenty of racing to hold you over until season number 2 kicks back off on November 5th. So check us out. We got Sunday nights. We got the 191 Motorsports Tuesdays, or well, before Tuesday, we got Monday nights. We got the Hold Your Brakes Academy. Tuesdays, we got the Core Xfinity Series. Wednesday nights, we do have the race right before this one, which is CSRL. And then on Thursdays, we got the doubleheader of Virtual Velocity Racing and Core GT Series. So plenty to kind of wet your whistle until they kick it back off here for season 2. But that's going to do it for season 1 for the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series. It was definitely a blast for me and Jimmy. Hopefully you enjoyed it as well. For myself and Jimmy here in the desert at Phoenix. We'll see you at the track.
Peace.